I will be reviewing a one-step gel system by GelMoment. This is a brand that is sold through independent distributors. Mine was sent to me by Sheila Moles of Napa Gel. I will include her contact information in a link below. And I have 3 shades to share with you. Echoes of Paris, which is a taupe cream. Ladybug Rouge, which is a jelly red, classic red. And Lavender Ice, which is a gray lavender shimmer polish. I also have the 2-finger gel lamp and some other accessories. So let's get started. I will now show you the process of preparing your nail and using the GelMoment system, applying the actual gel. What you want to do is first have all of your supplies ready to go. I have my GelMoment file. This is a foam file with 2 different grits of abrasive. I have a cuticle tool that is also from GelMoment. It has a spade-shaped end that's sharp on one side, and then kind of a pusher end on this side. It's flat and then tapered. And if I were to actually be doing my nails right now, doing the prep work, I would also have cuticle remover and then wash my hands. At that point, I also have the GelMoment nail cleanser, which can remove any oils from the nail, which can cause the gel to lift. I also have ready a paper towel, a cleanup brush. This is just a cheap eyeliner brush, and a small container of acetone. This is an old sample, skincare sample jar that I just use to keep on hand if I happen to get any of the product on my skin, because you don't want to do that. So with nail prep, what you want to do is shape the nail, and you do that by carefully filing in one direction. You want to make sure that there are no peeling or rough areas on your nail, so you may have to use the less abrasive side actually to smooth out the surface of your nail. What can happen is, even if the gel is lasting a long time, you can have a problem where the nail will start peeling and it will bring the gel up with it, so you don't want that to happen. Also, you want to make sure that the nail bed is completely free of any cuticle. Cuticle is the dry skin that comes along with the nail as it grows out. It's not the living skin, which is the eponychium. And how a tool like this can help is you apply cuticle remover. I like the Julep Vanish product. And then you let that soak in, and you very gently push back the living skin. And you may also need to carefully, just lightly skim along the edges if you happen to have any dried skin. You don't want to apply any pressure, just let the tool do the work. And that will help your mani from lifting at the actual cuticle line. It's a very important step. This is the nail cleanser. I'm going to open one of these up. I've not done this yet, so we'll see what this looks like. It is a very small liquid coated piece of sort of felt, and it smells like alcohol, so it appears to just be an alcohol wipe. And you want to go at this pretty well to make sure there's no oil. If you've just removed your cuticles, you would have washed your hands just before anyway. So I'm just making sure that my nail bed is completely free of any oil. because that could cause the mani not to last as long. If you don't happen to have any of the wipes left with you, you can also use your acetone cleanup for this. What I do is just dip the brush in and then use the brush to clean the nail bed, wipe on your paper towel. I always do this with gel or with regular nail polish. It's a good step just to make sure that you don't have any leftover oils on the nail bed. After you've prepped your nail bed, what you want to do is get your gel polish ready to go. This is the shade Lavender Ice. You want to gently roll the bottle around, don't shake it. I also have my cleanup tools ready in case I get any gel on my skin. And then I have my GelMoment 2-finger LED curing lamp. And what I do, the nice thing about gel compared to regular polish is you have time to work. This is really, really great. You want to use as thin a coats as possible. And the reason for this is gel needs light to cure it. It will not dry on its own, unlike regular polish. So you want to wipe as much of the gel off the brush as possible so that you get a very thin coat, so that when you cure it, the light can actually penetrate all the way through and cure the gel. You really don't want uncured gel on your skin. It's an allergen, and you can shorten the life of your mani. Now, the other nice thing with gel is you can just take your time. It's not going to dry up on you and start to bunch up. If you have any bubbles, you can just go ahead and wipe those out, basically. So you can see I have a very thin translucent coat. That's okay. I'm going to go back later and add another coat. The cool thing about gel, too, is that it has this lovely quality where it sort of fills in any of your ridges. It self-levels. It's actually kind of easier to use than regular polish. It's not quite as runny. I'm actually painting with my non-dominant hand. I'm right-handed and I'm painting my right hand. And you can see how easy it is for me to control the product. I'm getting a really nice line at the cuticle. I'm just taking my time. I'm a little bit shaky, and I'm still really not having any problems. Now, if I did happen to flood my cuticle, touch the cuticle, or get it on my skin, that's okay, because I've got my cleanup brush nearby, and I can just take that brush, dip it in a little acetone, and wipe any areas clean. Another thing I might add with gel is that you want to make sure that you get all the way to the tips. If you don't get all the way to the tips, then you can actually have it shrink a little bit once you cure it. So you don't want that to happen. And this is a frost shade, a shimmer shade, and what I'm also doing is making sure that I'm using careful straight brush strokes, just taking my time. Now that I've painted 4 fingernails, what I'm going to do is put my nails in the GelMoment curing lamp. And this is a great lamp because it has a timer on it, so you don't have to worry about keeping track of the time. I did check it, it's exactly on, it's 60 seconds. So I put 2 nails in at a time, and I kind of rotate them around to make sure that the UV is getting to all sides of the nail. This will be especially important when you're using a darker shade because it's a little harder for the light to penetrate. I did have issues when I use thicker coats with the darker shades, not with light shades like this, but I like to be extra careful to make sure that it's cured. So I just wait until the light turns off, and then I do this with my other nails. Now, my thumbnail is actually extremely short right now. I've had some peeling, so I have trimmed it back. And this nail will be a little bit more challenging to do because, like I said, you don't want to have gel cure on your nail. So what I'm going to do is paint this nail as carefully as I can, but I'm probably going to have to clean up some of the gel, and I will show you how I do that process. I'm trying to avoid in advance as much of this problem as I can, but it's already happening, so it's a good chance to show you it's okay if you mess up. There's nothing wrong with it. You just don't want to cure it with the gel where it's not supposed to be. So there, I've made a little mess. I'm also going to carefully brush this out. So I'll be a little more careful in the final stage, but I will just try to make sure that my brush strokes are neat. Okay. So here is my cleanup stuff, and I have some gel past the tip of my fingernail. That's pretty much impossible to avoid if you've got very, very short nails like this one. So what I do is I just carefully take that cleanup brush dipped in acetone, and I go along that edge. Oops, I flooded it a little bit. You want to make sure it doesn't flood. And you just make sure that that's 100% off your skin before you go and cure it in the lamp. And likewise, if you flood the cuticle area, you can go very carefully along the edge, kind of angle the brush so that it's going slightly underneath the skin of your eponychium. I've now painted both of my thumbs, and I'm ready to show you how you can cure your thumbs at the same time in this 2-finger lamp. I just go like this and stick them both in. So using this system, you can do a hand with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different activations of the lamp. So that would be 5 minutes. I prefer to add a second coat for opacity. And so basically you can do an entire GelMoment mani in 10 minutes, plus your prep time. That's really great. It takes me a minimum of a half an hour to do a full regular nail polish mani. Sometimes even longer, because I wait for each coat to dry. I do a base coat. I do usually 2 to 3, sometimes even 4 layers of nail polish, and then a layer of top coat, and I have to wait for each of those to dry. So this is really a lot faster. So when I'm done, it's done. It's shiny. It's dry to the touch. You do want to check, make sure, especially with darker shades, make sure that it is dry. If it's not, you can always do another go in the lamp. So then basically you're ready to have your mani to wear for a couple weeks. Now, if you like the speed, the shine, the plumpness, the colors of the gel polish, but you don't really want to wear it for 2 weeks and you don't want to spend 10 minutes soaking it off, you can use this with a peel-off base coat. And there are a variety of peel-off base coats on the market. I prefer to use a clear latex or a peel-off base coat from a brand, a Taiwanese brand called UNT. And what they do is you basically apply them, you let them dry, and the gel applies perfectly fine over them, and then you can just basically peel it up with your fingernail. It's not going to last a very long time, but that's kind of the point, that if you want to just wear your gel mani for 1 or 2 days and then reapply it, but you don't want to do regular polish that is going to take a half hour, an hour to dry, you like your gel but you can't commit to a couple weeks and you don't want to soak off. Just apply a peel-off base coat. Otherwise, the method that I showed you today is actually, this is a real mani. I'm going to be wearing this for a week while I'm traveling to test out how it holds up. And this I will have to soak off. But it's just nice to have options to either wear your gel for its full maximum capacity or to change it just like you would a regular nail polish. And this is a one-step system, so as you can see, it's very fast. You don't have a base coat and a top coat like you do with some other systems. So it's really designed to be fast and easy for the home user. All right, I've gone ahead and applied my second coat of this polish, the Lavender Ice shade. And as you can see, it's beautifully shiny. Even though it's a shimmer polish, there's really no frosty quality to it. It's fairly opaque in two coats. And I would say this would be a really nice shade if you have a conservative workplace or you just want a nice sort of purplish gray to wear. So yeah, this is basically applying a GelMoment mani at home. You can see I was able to get really, really close to the cuticle line without flooding it. It's a very neat mani. There's no stray gel anywhere on my fingers. The key is just to take your time, go slow, stay calm. It's really a lot easier than regular nail polish. And I would say it's absolutely equal to any salon service that you would get for gel. And I have this effect in approximately 15 minutes. So I think it's a really great option if you want your manis to last or you want high shine. I've now worn my GelMoment mani for 8 days. And I am ready to remove it. I have about a 1/16 of an inch of new growth. It's held up pretty well. The only issues I've got a little bit of chipping on this fingernail, but that's actually because my nail peeled underneath the gel and I had to clip it off. The gel remained bonded to the nail surface, but the nail became delaminated from itself. And I have really peely nails, so this is not unexpected. I would normally have to clip or file off some delamination a couple times a week, and since I've worn this for 8 days, I haven't been able to do that. So basically, if you have peely nails, you still may get some of this. I normally only get about a day to a day and a half, 2 days of wear out of a regular polish mani. So 8 days for me is pretty good. If you're not prone to peely nails, then as you can see, the other nails, there's really not much wear on them at all. They're still pretty shiny, and it really doesn't look like a regular polish mani would after 8 days. I'm ready to remove my GelMoment mani, and I've just put on one of these remover packs, and I will show you how they work. You tear along the dotted line and then remove this strip from the back. This has a sticky area to it, so you can put your finger in the middle inside the packet and then just fold it over and give it probably 10-15 minutes and come back. So you do this with all of your fingers. I've now had my fingernails soaking in the remover packet for about 15 minutes, and I'm going to take it off. And the polish still looks like it's on there, but what you'll see is when I take an orange wood stick, I can actually scrape it off. It's sort of powdery, and it comes off pretty well. There may be a little residue left that you can remove with just a bit of regular nail polish remover, some acetone. So some of it'll flake off, some of it'll come off kind of powdery, but it removes fairly easily. You just have to leave it on long enough for it to penetrate completely through the gel. So, to wrap up my experience with GelMoment, both trying the polishes for short times and also doing a wear test of 8 days, I would say this is a very solid product. It will save you time over regular polish manis and also 3-step gel polish systems. And I was very happy with the colors that I received. They were all classic colors. It was a light cream, a dark cream, and a shimmer polish. And the only issues that I had were chipping of my own natural nail. As I removed the system, I could see that the gel was still perfectly bonded to the top layer of my nails. That's just a fault in my own nails. They're quite peely and fragile. So it won't fix that problem for you if you have it. I recommend trimming them back and filing off all the loose bits before you apply the gel. But for me, having something last 8 days really solidly is a first-time experience. Normally with regular polish, I only get a few days of wear because of the nature of my nails. So this system would work for both home users. As you could see, it was quite simple, and also would work in a salon setting, saving time for the salon owner and also for the client. Again, my representative was Sheila Moles with GelMoment Napa Gel, and I will include her contact information in a link below. Thank you very much for watching, and if you have any questions, just shoot me a comment down below. Thank you.